Hello everyone. Today we have our last session, and during this session, our participants will present their projects. We will discuss them. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, dear participant, during the courses of STEM, you learned about the role of alternative energy sources for preserving the environment and reducing global warming. So, second slide. Let's remember the materials of STEM courses. What clean energy sources have been developed by scientists? Let's remind some of them. For the next slide.
Mhm.
As you remember from these courses, the power source can be divided into main parts, traditional sources and alternative sources. Okay, who reminds some traditional sources of power?
Dear participants, let's
Heat
participate.
power plant, nuclear power,
Power
hydropower station.
And also some
Mhm.
sources like coal, gas, and oil. It's like traditional sources.
Mhm. And how about alternative sources?
It's solar energy, wind energy, biomass, no?
Biomass, yeah.
Biomass.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
solar
Uh,
batteries.
yeah,
Mhm.
like small batteries, some eco-friendly. Geothermal,
Geothermal. Mhm.
energy of
Energy
sea
of
stream.
ocean. Mhm. Energy of ocean.
Yeah, and
So, what
hydrogen.
is the sources of alternative energy? Main sources.
Wind,
Nature.
wind,
Mm-hmm.
sun,
Sun
water,
and
and land.
land. For me,
Mm-hmm.
land is like surprising a bit, but you will explain, right?
Do you remember
So,
biomass?
first,
Biomass.
Yes,
It's
composting. Yeah.
dependent on the difference of temperature of land. So, for example, if you take the temperature of cover of lead, it's a maybe hotter or sometimes colder than the temperature of the 1 meter down or else. So between this temperature, we can produce some energy. So this research is conducted in our university, and they produce some primary equipment to produce electricity energy
Mm-hmm.
from from land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you think? Uh, what alternative energy sources can be used in the Karaganda region? Justify your answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Well, we
know,
Before
definitely
we
have
speak,
so much wind. So I believe we should use this wind somehow.
I know that
wind energy. Okay.
sun is used not far from Karaganda. There is a solar station with solar cells.
Uh-huh.
You see, and as for wind, in Karaganda, I do not know. I know that there is some biofuel at some in some villages where there are special plants where they grow pigs, you see, or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
but not only pigs,
Mm-hmm.
but chicken also, right? So,
Biofuel,
Maybe
yes. So,
maybe not so
uh-huh.
much not so much we can use water because our country is inland country without too much coasts.
mhm.
Therefore, we cannot widely use tidal wave or tides as many countries surrounded by water use usually use,
Mhm. Yes,
except
I
for
agree.
water maybe.
I agree. But as for sun, I think it's possible. And as for wind, especially, yes, because we have
Mhm.
lots of wind, especially here in our region. So I think it's possible, yes.
Because the Karagan is very windy.
Yeah, because we are located in steppe, yeah. So,
But as I
Okay.
know,
Dear
the
participant.
wind,
Okay, okay.
Mhm. As I know, to build wind farms, we must have constantly windy day. It must be windy always around the year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, some
I think
problem
it's a
with,
problem.
and some problem with the sunshine because in the winter period it's not every day the sun shines is enough for produce a lot of energy. So, but in Karaganda region, there are four types of sources of energy. So, for example, sun energy, wind station, water station. So, for example, in top part, there are a big water energy stations. And the last 10 years in country, some farmers use a biofuel to produce biogas and produce some hot and electricity energy. Okay, next slide.
mhm,
Today we will speak about wind and sunshine energy. So, for example, this is the map of Karaganda region. And near the Karaganda city, it's about 11 kilometers. Near the Saran city, there are the first station, solar stations. And near the Aktogai settlements is working the second station. And I forgot to note the map 45 kilometers from Balkar city. It produced the third station, the settlement Golshat solar station.
mhm,
And right now, in this yes, is planning to produce two new stations. One station for solar station near the Balkhar city, and the second station at about 15 kilometers. It's a station of wind stations for produce of energy.
mhm.
So next slide. Okay. How do you think? In which points of our region should wind and solar power stations still be built, and why? Except, except the on map.
Except map. Okay, let's remind what was in the map. Saran,
Mhm.
Aktagay, and Balkhash. We are speaking about Karaganda region, yes?
Yes, about Karaganda region.
In
How do you think?
Karaganda,
Where can the scientists produce and build a new station?
in Karaganda
Solar
itself, I think. What do you
Maybe in
think,
the
guys?
south of Karaganda region, it is possible to build sun energy station, solar station.
Here I
Mm-hmm.
live in Kogi and we have lots of sun. And even if, for example, in downtown it rains and it pours, here in Kungi we hardly ever have like some drops. So I think it's an ideal place, for example, for wind station and for solar station.
I think Jeskasgan is a very good place
Yes.
for building uh, solar solar
Mhm.
stations because I think there is more sun in Jeskasgan than in Karaganda, and that is why I think solar and wind. It's a windy place as far as I know, so it's a good place, convenient for building such
But
stations.
Karaganda is also good. I think the more such places, the better. Timirtau, what do you think about Timirtau, guys?
Oh, Timirtau. I think Mittal
Temirtau is
still
windy
is
too.
enough for Temirtau.
But
Yeah.
it's for the
Our
resources.
plant is enough for us, yes.
How do you think about Karkaral region?
Yes, Karkarolinsk maybe. But in Karkarolinsk, there is not so much sun, yes, as far as I know, because there are like,
The
no,
much windy.
but it's
The
windy,
much
yes.
windy.
And what about Tapar?
I don't know.
What do you think, guys, about Tapar?
Water. Yeah, it was like water
Water power.
Yes.
like mhm.
Hmm?
Not the wind, but
Maybe
was will
power,
be like
Mm-hmm.
suitable.
solar power
Mm-hmm.
station.
Okay. Yeah. So to summing up, like we mentioned Karaganda, especially like our region closer to like these mountains, not mountains but hills, Sarerka, right? Like next to Kungay, Jeskazgan, Tapar,
Just
what else?
Kazgan.
Karkalinsk.
We can build solar and wind station. It's very important for Jeskazgan because it's very waste regions and they have some deficit of energy power. That's why, and I think they built a much wind station in Karkarali region because not so much solar sunshine in Karagally, that's more windy, and they will produce own energy because the electricity, the energy, it's much too expensive in Karkarali than in Karaganda, for example.
Okay,
Mm,
clear.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's look on this slide and speak about advantages and disadvantages of wind power station. Okay, who speak
I
about
know one.
advantages? Mhm.
I know disadvantages actually, so I will speak about them.
Okay.
First of all, they're noisy and they spread some vibration which can have like negative health effect on the people if they live around the stations.
Mhm.
Well, they are pretty expensive as most of the mm, sources of um, how is it how to say it storable energy, right? And like you don't only need these stations, you also stations, but you also need where to store the energy which is produced with the stations. And then maybe if it's not a windy day, you use this storage of energy to power the buildings around.
I think that
Mhm.
the most important thing is the cost. I think it would be very expensive because we have very vast territory, but we do not have enough services, and that is why
Yes.
we need great investments into these projects.
Hmm.
Mm,
Okay. And for from biologists, what's the most disadvantageous thing in the wind
This
power?
is
How do you
actually the one I didn't know about, that this prevents migration of birds. Like, this is a new information for me. Thank you.
yes, I also didn't know about it. So it's a big disadvantage actually. But why? They cannot fly?
so
Не попадают
on
в
the
волну?
example of Netherlands, they produce a lot of very much wind power station. So on the slide down, you can see the my photos from Netherlands from airplane. You can see the all fields covered with a row of wind power. And the scientists of Netherlands set about some problem with birds migration because they can change bird migration sometimes, and lots of birds died with how to say столкновение with these
Collapse.
laws with the power
Okay.
equipment.
Very
Wings
interesting.
of station.
Wings. And even when, for example, sportsmen, yeah, they do sport like how to say trampoline. I don't know how it's in English, but even then they need to have a special wind direction, yes, like to do it successfully. Otherwise, they cannot fly with the help of their skis, yes. So, and I think the same thing with birds.
Yeah, it influences on navigation, birds'
Yeah.
navigation, I think.
Mhm.
And moreover, maybe some vibration influences them, reflected on their uh, uh, way of like.
Okay. Okay.
Eleonora, it's navigation, I think. You see, it influences on navigation.
Okay.
Oh, stop. How about advantages? Stop.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
How about what?
So we discussed the disadvantages of wind power station, but how about advantages?
About maybe cost effective, like wind energy is free, and first of all, it's ecologically friendly uh,
Mm-hmm.
energy system, and also it's very clean, like clean and environmentally friendly fuel source.
Okay,
Um,
But
ecological green,
at the
friendly,
same time,
without waste. Mm-hmm.
but at
with
the
a-
same time, it's written here it doesn't require water consumption or it is not limited. I agree, but
Mhm.
it affects water reduction, I think, and some, how to say, um, like wearing this land and soil out. And therefore, I think lots of wind is also bad for agriculture. And like this is a big disadvantage in my opinion.
Mm. But some scientists produce new construction of wind power station, which can use a very how to say it, little wind
Mhm,
and produces the same amount of energy.
mhm,
So there are some equipment who can produce power
mhm,
without strong wind. It's a usual very low wind.
mhm. Okay, now we know.
And not
So,
so much places for accommodations. So
mhm,
if you look on the photos, you can see there's some row power station accommodate along the roads in the field on hill. And I saw the example near the seashore of Netherlands. They build some power station in the sea.
mhm.
In the sea.
Okay, interesting.
It's
So
because the territory is very, very small. As for
yes.
Kazakhstan, the main advantage is our land, our territory and steppe.
Yeah. At the same time, it's a big disadvantage because people don't care like this large territory.
Okay.
Mhm,
So next slide about solar station.
mhm.
Sun power station and solar. Okay. On this slide, I suggest only one advantages and one disadvantages. Let's discuss and note other advantages as disadvantages of solar energy and sun stations.
One
Okay.
big disadvantage, in my opinion, because I have a garden, yes, And I understand when sun is shining brightly every day, we need to water our garden and we use lots of water, and this is the big disadvantage. And I love rainy days because in Karaganda it's really hard to breathe when we have lots of sun. So therefore, for me, sun here in Karaganda is not a disadvantage itself, but a lot of sun is a disadvantage.
I think advantage of sun power station is you can place solar panels everywhere on the roofs of the buildings, for example, in the cities. If you are in rural place, you can install these panels on the land, you see, so it's an advantage. The disadvantage is uh, solar panels are very expensive, and we do not produce in Kazakhstan. That is why we need to bring them from other countries, and it would be expensive.
Yeah, and
I
also
I I think what the power nuclear power mm, renewable sources necessary big territory. It is disadvantage.
One
The
of
wind,
the, I'm sorry.
the window and sun um, needs big territory, big area. Maybe it's impossible. It is disadvantage.
Oh, you contradict me. It's very interesting. I say it saves the place. You said that we need a lot of place. Okay, why not?
and solar can
It
be
is
very great.
territory. It is private.
The roofs of buildings. You see, why not?
I
We
think
can.
our strong wind will blow it. Will blow them.
Ah,
I think one of the advantages as well that some power station or some solar batteries can accumulate energy power and they may be used at any time, any proper time we need this energy.
Yeah, but as a disadvantage, I think it's an expensive technology, especially if we produce the solar panels that can accumulate, yes, lots of this energy. And I think as a business, for example, there will be like this. So this solar panel is not so expensive because it doesn't accumulate lots of energy. But this is more expensive because it can accumulate more energy and so on and so forth. And this is a disadvantage. I think it's expensive.
One more opinions?
Maybe you will add.
So solar power maybe can be used like a heat power actually. So what else? It power homes and building, even power cars. But as a disadvantages, like it is as like a disadvantage. Um, Solar power at night, like it doesn't work. Actually, maybe we need to use some large battery bank for.
And it's expensive, as I said.
Mhm.
Or for example,
It's
we
very
need to
expensive
combine
actually.
alternative and how to say traditional sources of energy as we did, for example, as we do every winter because we have gas and we have coal. And when it's really cold, we have coal and we heat our house with the help of coal. And when
Yeah.
it's not cold, we can use gas.
Mhm. It's like
So,
traditional.
okay,
Yeah.
let's make this some conclusion. Advantages of a solar power station. that sun is not limited sources of energy. So
They can be
we
placed solar panels everywhere.
everywhere on the building, in the field, on the car and other. So we can use the battery for accumulation of energy. So and the sun energy is eco-friendly.
Mhm,
But in the solar stations there are a lot of disadvantages. So
mhm,
sometimes produce of an energy depending on the weather time of days.
mhm,
So okay, uh, for the sun station, it's possible to build and need much territories for the wind energy. So 2 days ago, I was in Saran and
mhm,
looked on the sun power station. It's a very very big territory
mhm,
uh, with these panels.
mhm,
Okay, we can also some problem that you need clean the panels from dust and snow, for example. It's a big problem,
mhm.
and it's much expensive.
Yes, it's expensive.
Expensive cost for panels and for battery for accumulation of energy.
And then not only like for supporting them. Yeah, I think support is always much more expensive than installation and even development. So like after that, and lots of IT companies, they develop the product, but their biggest profit comes from supporting these products. And I think the same with these solar panels. They need support, they need cleaning from dust, they need like their battery change, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So thank you
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Is it
for
all?
your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margarita Yulaevna.
Thank
Well,
you.
I learned a lot of interesting things.
Especially about birds, you know.
Yeah, also it's new information for me.
Yes, it was
Okay.
interesting. So who is the next? Alia Okujanovna. Now I give the floor to you. So I think I will try to share your screen, to share my screen and to show your presentation. In case some problems of sound, you will do it yourself, okay?
Yes, this course was very useful and we made conclusions. We will make them now. Attention to our presentation.
Okay. So can you see it, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Advantages and disadvantages of using nuclear
Thorium
power.
alternative. Scientists predict the presence of uranium for the next 80s. An alternative to it has been found. This is thorium. It is more accessible than uranium. Thorium is not used at high temperatures. Lest waste. Countries such as Japan and India plan to use thorium in their power plants.
Mhm. Interesting.
The next slide about disadvantages of nuclear power.
Mhm.
Um, Now, radioactive waste. Currently, there are 449 nuclear reactors operating in the world. If these wastes are not properly sealed, they can pollute the environment and create additional health hazards. Today, the seafloor has become a dumping ground for nuclear submarines and containers of nuclear waste. Thus, the treatment of radioactive waste is a serious problem.
Yes.
Probability of accidents.
Accidents.
There is always a high probability of an accident. Nuclear power is extremely powerful. Even a small situation can lead to unbearable consequences. This is acutely harmful to humanity and nature. Chernobyl is tragedy that still remains in everyone's thoughts.
Yes. Так, just a moment.
Creations of a nuclear power plant. Time and great investment to create. It takes 20 to 30 years to design and build a new nuclear power plant. Next, social need for security. The probability of a potential terrorist attack, minimal carelessness that can lead to chaos, nuclear power plants in the event damage to them have the ordered or harm to the entire civilizations.
And last slide about nuclear weapons. Radioactive waste that can be used for production nuclear weapons. Platinum plays an important role in building nuclear bombs. Even even if nuclear energy is useful, it also raises serious national security concerns.
Can I ask question to
Yes.
ladies? Can you show slide number 6? Alia, I have a question. You said
Yes.
thorium. So as
Uh,
alternative, will you give some more information about
You
thorium?
can speak Russian, Aliya. I think it's very difficult to speak about power, nuclear
Yeah.
energy.
Я первый раз слышу. Уран мы все слышали, да?
Да, это
Я тоже.
альтернативный элемент урана,
Alternative
alternative energy.
alternative uranium elementary.
А нет, я хотела вот это
Нет, он
альтернатива. А насколько
производится
она в
откуда-то?
плане?
Он есть как химический элемент, и его сейчас хотят использовать, то есть для этого нужны разработки,
А
которые
его
сейчас...
больше, чем урана на Земле?
Да, он теперь, потому что урана только на 80 лет ближайшие, а как альтернативный теперь уже ему ищут замену, чтобы применять именно торий, и он
А насколько
считается...
в плане вреда? Уран же он очень такой радиоактивный. Что касается ториума?
Ториума он менее загрязняет окружающую среду, и поэтому хотят в будущем перейти на торий. Потому что там...
торий есть в таблице Менделеева или нет?
Да.
Есть,
Да,
да?
ну, да.
Первый
Да,
раз
это
слышу.
90-й элемент.
Я вот, честно говоря, тоже увидела этот слайд, и я думаю, спрошу, но Алия там потом, они еще приготовили игру, Баян Мукушевна, вот, и игра как раз посвящена Чернобылю, а Алия как раз занимается же вот с Айгуль Саулетовной Чернобылем, вот, и как раз-таки вот я думаю, что это будет очень полезно нам вспомнить вообще о вот этой вот, на самом деле, disadvantage of nuclear power, поэтому я сейчас расшариваю эту игру. Так, сейчас, минуточку.
Thank you for information.
Да, это было очень интересно. Так. Алия Охужановна и Айгуль Саулетовна разработали свою игру даже. И ее можно потом использовать даже вот в работе со студентами, вот во внеклассных мероприятиях. Поэтому это на самом деле очень здорово.
Да.
Итак, давайте тогда просто пройдемся действительно. The Memory of Chernobyl. То есть посвящено In Караганда. А, это вот у нас мемориал, да, Чернобыльской аварии. And where is it in the
park?
In the Park of Victory, yes? Это Парк Победы, да?
Да, Парк Победы.
Да.
Окей. Угу. Так, ну что, кто
The
у нас?
highest. I think the highest. How many levels?
Yeah, how many levels, Алия Охужановна?
Are there in general? How many levels? Вот сколько всего уровней опасности?
Он.
12.
Он, да?
10,
Из 10,
10.
I think it's
maybe 9.
8, I think 8 out of 10.
I agree. Any other opinions?
10 out of 10.
Maybe we don't know exactly.
The highest, yeah? Mhm.
So let's check.
7?
You see, guys,
7.
not 10s, but 7s.
We were
Very close.
closer, Anna Nikolaevna.
Huh?
We were closer.
Yeah, but you see, actually, Chernobyl disaster was not actually the most dangerous in
Oh
this
my
case.
gosh. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you see?
It is for all humanity society.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When was the accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant? Who
60s?
remembers?
60s, no? Или 80s?
Ничего себе,
What?
разлет в 20.
1986.
Oh, yes, of course.
Eight, mhm. 80s. It was 80s.
Yes, on April 26, on the 26th of April 1986. Yes, this tragedy happened. Okay, next question, guys. How long did the fire at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant last? How long?
Oh,
Who can suppose, propose, suggest some ideas? Because I don't know.
Few days, maybe 2, maybe 5.
I think more.
Maybe 1 month.
Okay, let's check. 1 month,
We don't
more
know.
than 5 days. So we have the answer
10
10
days.
days. Wow, 10 days.
My gosh.
Yeah. Someone
10
from
days.
journalists was the first to get to the crash site of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Someone from journalists. Lia Kujanovna, Aigusa Olivovna, can you explain this question? What should we name?
We need the name of the journalist.
Name.
Breus, no? Алексей Breus.
Этот вместе, господи, беленький такой.
Let's check.
Политковский, no?
No.
No.
Let's check.
Владимир Иткин?
Кто это? Иткин.
We did
Иткин
know.
или we don't know yet?
Journalist.
Can you say who is this person? Does he live in Kazakhstan or in Russia?
Russia.
In Russia. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Okay.
think that this question is very important for students. You see, so it's like about the horses of Genghis Khan, I think.
But
Not a popular
as
journalist.
you see, for some people, the horses of Genghis Khan are very important. What was the name of the protective structure built immediately after the liquidation of the consequences of the Chernobyl accident? What was the
Kupol.
name of the protective
Kupol, да,
structure?
protective.
Kupol.
But kupol in English, perhaps. Like coop or what?
Doom.
Dome, может. Dome?
Yeah.
Protective shelter.
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 Объект укрытия.
Объект укрытий. As far as I remember,
What is
yeah,
the name of the forest near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant? So who visited
I
Russia?
have no idea.
Yeah.
There is a forest?
yeah, it is in
Аля, там даже зубы сейчас
fire.
появились, представляешь?
You remember?
И реликтовые папоротники.
Ржавый.
Do you know?
Которые
Ржавый.
горели недавно, помните? Вот целый месяц,
Ржавый
по-моему.
лес.
Ржавый лес.
Рыжий лес.
Рыжий лес.
Ржавый или рыжий лес.
Red Forest. Ух ты,
А.
здорово.
Red как рыжий. Ржавые.
Так, окей. Where and when was the Chernobyl nuclear power plant commissioned?
Не
Так, куда и
Киев.
когда его списали?
In, where and when?
Да.
Where
М.
in Ukraine?
Не Киев.
Ukraine.
Не Киев.
Угу.
При...
Припять.
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 Припять,
from
Припять.
and
That
Leningrad.
нет, about Pripyat.
А я не поняла.
Вопрос не поняла. Может, вы переведете? Я не поняла вопрос. Я поняла, когда и где запустили эту Чернобыльскую станцию?
Почему
Да.
запустили? А,
А при чем
запустили?
тут Ленинград?
Нет, это как вариант был. Потом мы убрали. Первый ответ.
А какой первый ответ
Нет, а
правильный,
еще
да?
раз вопрос дайте. Смотрите, где и когда commissioned, what do we mean, was commissioned?
Запущен тогда, получается.
В эксплуатацию, да, запущено.
Ну,
Запущена эксплуатация.
Ну, вы же сказали, что он был запущен на Украине же, а при чем тут Ленинград дальше?
Так нет, это был вариант, Марина Кушевна.
А,
Нужно было выбрать один. Мы же не
значит,
показываем вам презентацию с музыкой, как она вот должна быть, чтобы мы сейчас играли. У нас просто времени на это нет. Поэтому первый ответ правильный. Будем знать теперь. Вообще многие вещи, которые мы сейчас уже забыли, а ведь это трагедия, которую мы должны помнить. Так же, как Великую Отечественную войну. Please indicate which two nuclear power plants commissioned in 1973 and 1976 also used them. Давайте просто посмотрим, потому что я так...
Давайте, что-то
Давайте
вопрос понятен.
Leningrad and Kursk nuclear power plants.
Угу.
Так, еще раз. Два завода в седьмом... то есть потом
В
запустили...
73-м и 76-м
Уже
запустили.
после трагедии. У нас теперь есть в Курске и в Ленинграде.
Как? Трагедия же в 86-м случилась. А это 73-й и 76-й.
То есть еще до Чернобыля были запущены в Ленинграде и в Курске.
Они сейчас работают? А они сейчас работают или я ужасно?
Ну, фактически, да. Там действующие все, они обновляются.
Окей. Enter the amount of liquidators went to Chernobyl mission from Kazakhstan. А вот это уже очень интересно на самом деле для наших студентов.
Я думаю, на 2000. А я думаю, 2000 people.
2000, 10,000, let's check. You see, guys, 31,743 people from Kazakhstan.
Ужас.
Вообще, вот это вот действительно вопрос так вопрос.
Maybe 2000 died in place of Pripyat
Maybe.
in this day.
The main means of respiratory protection for liquidators at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant was a respirator, which was changed several times a day after the accumulation of radiation dust in the filter. Enter its name. The name of filter or the name of respirator?
Респиратор.
Respirator.
Как называются эти респираторы, которые мы одевали на НТВ, на НВП?
Противогаз.
Так понятно, а по-английски как?
Давайте ответ посмотрим.
Петл. Петриянов.
Respirator. Вау.
Петл респиратор. Так вот.
Мы сейчас
Мы
доказывали
сами из Советского Союза все забыли, елки-палки.
Алия
Лепестковый
Укужановна,
респиратор.
белые ваши
Лепестковый
студенты.
респиратор.
I will be honest. I have no idea about all of this.
Where is
Like
the
for me, it's not
national?
even Soviet Union.
Poor students. Poor students.
In Pripyat.
Where is the
What?
National
Of
Chernobyl
course.
Museum located? I think
In Pripyat.
in Pripyat.
В Припять нельзя ездить, не может оно быть в Припять.
Может быть, где-то действительно в Беларуси или в Украине?
Нет, там рядом.
Рядышком?
А Киев
Да.
это
Я же сказала Киев.
Киев.
Мгм. It cannot be in
It's the
Pripyat.
capital and more people can visit.
Киев.
In Kyiv, да. Так, ну и последний слайд. What films make you rethink the tragedy at the Chernobyl nuclear power plan and think about the future. What
Maybe Pripyat. I've seen such movies about Pripyat actually.
в субботу, Аврора,
It's
мотыльки. Мгм.
so much documentary film of the Chernobyl. So,
Но
for
знаете,
example,
ребята,
a
вот вы
second
знаете,
civil tragedy.
из-за одной этой цифры, да, Павел Макушевна,
Да,
мне
я в
кажется, надо
шоке.
действительно
Я в
посмотреть эти
шоке.
фильмы.
Это столько сломанных судеб, боже мой,
Столько людей из Казахстана, где всего
пострадали.
17 миллионов человек официально, да, и действительно, ведь
С
посмотрите,
респиратором, можете представить? Вот просто с респиратором туда бросили
ну
людей.
да, как в
Даже не
коронавирус
хочу думать.
смазали.
Даже не хочу об этом думать.
Да. Но спасибо огромное, потому что это
Thank you.
действительно было здорово.
Shall we
Thank
start?
you. Yes.
So it's like a conclusion of our course. We prepared like one slide with my groupmate Tolanai. It's called like saving the earth starts from you. Um, so
Мгм.
and can I add? We everyone of the third this first theme that saving the earth starts with, but I realized that this is true because of STEM, because of this course, and wanted to show to others to share and make this presentation.
Мгм.
So we finished the two courses like English for Middle Literacy and English for STEM, and we um, have a certificate. And thanks to this course, I got a lot of new knowledge for myself, and this knowledge influenced my thoughts and actions. Like the completion of this course can prove my like an income. Okay, what to say?
Мгм.
Yes, I agree with Tolana. And when we were preparing for this course, we thought about like useful things for us, and like it was very useful when we discussed because if Anna Nikolaevna, when we were preparing for your like discipline, we we thought about STEM courses because our lessons were connected with this course, and these are not just words. These are like organized projects. You've seen that, like you saw. Yes, and when I needed to choose the video or presentation or theme for the discipline for my discipline, I found these videos with topics related to the course, like STEM course. Also made a presentation, and this presentation was based on a lesson for children and students.
Мгм.
And I conducted lessons on this topic individually and in the group, like discussions. And during this time, while I was preparing the lesson, I really thought. And every day I try to share it with others, with my family, with my friends. Um, and I didn't realize that I talking about this every day. Actually,
Мгм.
here is here are our the best quotation which inspired all of us, especially Anna Nikolaevna.
Yes. Every person who thinks about the problem of plastic pollution contributes to improving the environmental situation on the planet. You see, guys, these two girls, they didn't agree on the choice of this topic, but they both chose the topic about plastic problem, the problem of plastic pollution. And therefore, I think they like developed the lessons. They contributed a lot to this course because they even start thinking what and how to deal with this problem of plastic pollution. And therefore, based on this expression, I think their contribution is huge. Therefore, I ask them to show what they did, and I think this is great. Thank you, girls, and I'm really proud of you. And you both got 100 for your contribution.
Yes.
And for me, the most important was not to, how to say, that even not the content but your attitude to it, because you said that now in your families you speak about this, how to say, how to recycle plastic. You every day speak with your family members about this problem, and this is, I think, the greatest impact
Yes.
of your
So
participation.
when like we made lessons, first of all, I like chose one theme about motivation, like it was about psychology. But when Tolganay did like two lessons about our earth and our problems, like it inspired us a lot. So my lessons were like this. I chose the title. We can recycle plastic, and then in our group there is one student like Ajar, and
Mhm.
she did it too, like she chose a topic about plastic.
Yes,
So it was very, like, we were very happy because you see, this is our discussion, like Anna Nikolaevna, me and Tolganay, this discussion took about half an hour, and was very interesting and useful. Anna Nikolaevna, there we can we like ask our participants about that, like
of
about
course.
recycling plastic. So it was very interesting question about making a one type of plastic for entire life. So I want to ask you, like all of participants, how do you think like will be it useful or better to the world to make one type of plastic for entire life, if you understand? Because I just want to say that there are a lot of like types of plastic, and uh, to recycle them it's very very hard, and then like it's harmful for people's health.
Mhm.
Like in India we have a lot of people who recycles plastic, and then like they to recycle this plastic they like burn them. So it's very
Mhm.
harmful. So if like in the video, like it was about that, like we can do make one type of plastic like to make the
For
world
all,
better, yes,
one
for
type of
all.
plastic for
Yeah,
all.
but
And
we need a factory.
yeah, my answer was that first of all, it will cause lots of consequences. Like, for example, a lot of factories in the world produce different types of plastic, and if we produce only one type of plastic, other people will lose their works. First of all, yes, their jobs. It is very, how to say, expensive to renovate factories. And so, in my opinion, there would be more drawbacks. And we had this tough discussion, but this discussion was really interesting. And now I understand the question from Tolganai and Inkar. And can you please share your opinion, guys? Do you think it's reasonable to produce only one type of plastic
It,
everywhere in the world?
it's very interesting, you see, but it's not. I think it's just a dream. So it's idealistic, because in general, I think that it's impossible, because we produce plastic for different reasons, and I cannot imagine how one type of plastic will cover all the needs. You see, I'm not
Мгм.
strong in technologies, but I think that it's impossible. Though,
Uh, that
as
was
an
exactly my
idea,
opinion.
what?
That was exactly my opinion, Ben
Yes,
Mukushevna.
yes,
So
Ah,
yes.
I
really?
think this
So
true.
maybe because we are not so young and optimistic
Yeah,
like you, Tolga, you see,
I
and
agree, I
Ricard.
agree.
So that is why we see it a bit differently. But nevertheless, I like your idea. You have ideas. Why not?
But it's
It's
not
Yeah.
just
just
the
idea.
beginning.
Toganai and Inkar used the video from
Hmm.
TED Talks videos, and one guy suggested this idea, one scientist, and his way to produce just one type of plastic.
I say, why not? It's also one of the options, and it's very good.
Okay, great. So that was our girls' contribution, and I think this is great because as can you show girls this expression again?
Which one?
This expression about contribution.
Oh,
Yes, because this is, I think, the main idea of their, like, how to say, their contribution. They think about the problem of plastic pollution. They develop some lessons. They develop some exercises for this. They watch videos, so they speak about this problem in their family, and therefore they contribute a lot to improving the environmental situation on the planet. And thank you, girls, very much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
um,
Great
I
job.
can
Okay.
explain just in general. I don't have any questions for you, any tasks for you, and so on. Because I have just started this project for our teachers in our school. Our school teachers refused me to do this project now because they have a lot of works with checking summative assessments, as you know, at school. That's why I have just started to do this project. Now I just say the goal of this project. The goal of this project is improve and specify integrated learning approaches for affordable professional study of applied subjects. In one word, it's just help teachers of chemistry, biology, geography, and so on to work to improve their approaches in subjects in lessons on the lessons. Learning objectives by the end of no, there is mistake. Not unit one. This learning objectives of the project improve. Mm, I hope we will work. We'll work with this on this project with teachers on this summer.
Mm-hmm.
This summer,
Okay.
the um, learning objectives. No. They will improve their vocabulary. Um, all depends on their levels. You know, teachers of science at school they have problem with their English. That's why I will start at the beginning, and they will become familiar with all types of disaster in general and their definitions, and of course it will be in English. They will be able to give their opinion using grammar correctly, understand the language of cause and effect, consequences, and so on. Read, watch, and listen to a variety of text and multimedia sources. There, I use a lot of links of YouTube. Demonstrate their understanding some information and further read through any types of assessments. It will be at last, at the end of the project, because I think I don't know how long will last it be. It all depends on their levels.
Yes, but nevertheless, Ayaulim, I can say because I have already said this your idea allows you to participate in another project
Yes.
that will, prolonged, yes. And I don't know exactly about the topics, but I know that John Silver is like keen on like the flow of this project. And I think the main idea is that we need to use courses from Coursera and how to say implement them in teaching our subjects. And I think your idea gives you the right to do it as an independent coordinator, like me, for example, like other people from different parts of Kazakhstan. And I think this is like the start. This is a great start, and you will have an opportunity to apply for participation in this project as a coordinator, and this is great.
This just introductory project. To participate them at last to Coursera.
Mm-hmm.
Because of their level, they cannot now to start immediately Coursera. That's why I must introduce them first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next slide. I hope I round them up in summer in Google Classroom, and we'll work productively.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
Here I will explain them what is disaster. No, what is disaster? Then we will see that what disasters, natural disasters, man-made disasters. But the big, deeply stress will be made on man-made disasters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Ayolim. I think your idea is clear, and as I said, your idea is a start for your participation in this project in the future as a coordinator, and this is great.
Okay, the next slide. The next slide is who wants. The next slide, yes. If you want, you can see who wants. No, no, no. The previous. Yes. Do you see this? There's this man-made disaster, as you know, as you see.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to explain me this? Start from waste. I'm sorry, I said you that I don't have any task for you.
But our idea, Ayolim, is not about the tasks, I think. We understand your idea. Like, I think your contribution is also great because it allows you to work independently as a
This one
coordinator.
of this yes this task one of more tasks
Mm-hmm.
which I will do in our project.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And I
it's
think
clear.
that teachers will use this on their lessons to explain
Mm-hmm.
to improve their code
Yes.
and so on.
And don't
To
forget
improve,
to
yes.
how to say sign some certificate of implementation, something like this, yes? Because you will have to show that you implemented this in your like educational process of your educational institute. Okay, thank you very much. Do
And
you
the
have
last
any questions, guys?
I have form Google Classroom form here.
Okay,
Yes, English for STEM. I
okay.
did it. Here links and
Mhm.
some tasks. So as you see
Okay, great.
that with the links, videos, tasks, and so on, and some. I use also Quizlet.com
Mhm.
for flashcards
Okay, thank you very
for
much.
important skills, listening, writing, reading, and speaking, and so
Okay. Guys, do you have any questions to Ayolim?
Ayalim, I just have an offer. So do you want our students to be sent to practice to your school? And namely to you, because we are looking for such creative teachers. We
Mm-hmm.
want our students to learn something new, you see, so that they can also participate in different projects, you see, and move ahead.
I don't
Ayolim,
know.
what school do you
They
work?
want
Can we
Do you?
sign the contract between your school and Bulashak?
I think first of all I should start it with my teachers, and after I have
No, no,
get
no,
it.
no, no. We're speaking not about this project. We're speaking about our
На
base of
практику
practice. На
можно
практику
посылать к
можно
вам наших
подписать?
студентов? Мы можем подписать контракт с вашей школы, чтобы вот такие учителя английского языка могли брать наших студентов на практику, и потом, видите, нам надо, чтобы они учились чему-то, и чтобы у них были темы дипломных работ интересные. А я тут вот слушаю и думаю, очень интересная тема. Во-первых, И студенты могут участвовать в этих проектах
Конечно.
наших, и учиться могут.
What about specialized of your students? English teachers or what?
English teachers,
teachers.
pre-service teachers. We train pre-service teachers. У нас учитель 2 иностранных языков.
Я понимаю, сама у вас заканчивала. Не, я имею в виду, что это другие специальности вы имеете в виду, например, как вы
Нет,
химик?
наших студентов,
Мы
наших
говорим только про наши
специальностей вам на
специальности.
практику
Именно
лично.
англичанам, да?
Вы в какой
Лично.
школе работаете?
Я в русской,
Лагере.
в первой и в Тимиртау.
Подождите,
в
вы разве в
Тимиртау
Тимиртау?
Я в
кушаем?
Тимиртау, да.
Ну, в Тимиртау у нас же студенты, кто живут, они могут тоже там...
Ну, в принципе, да, им будет даже удобнее
Давайте
ведь.
мы вот поэтому подумаем, подпишем договор между...
Ну, если мне разрешат выдавать эти, как его, сертификаты, да?
Нет,
Нам
я
не
вы не
сертификаты,
понимаете. Это не про это. Мы говорим сейчас про то, чтобы студентов к вам на практику посылать в школу. Договор с практикой, да. Они придут как практиканты, будут уроки у вас вести, учиться.
Все, поняла.
Вы же сами, если у нас заканчивали, вы же помните?
Конечно,
на
вы же сами
практику.
знаете, что мы на практику посылаем студентов.
Потом мы же это все отслеживаем, и у нас это неформально же проходит. И нам
нам нужны такие учителя, как Екатерина Николаевна, как вы,
Да.
чтобы
Вот мы
сотрудничество
таких
получалось
учителей
хорошее.
ищем, да, и стараемся вот именно на учителя, не на школу. Поняли, да? Хорошо. Okay. Thank you. Great
Так,
job.
всё, спасибо большое.
Okay, I was very glad to be a participant of these courses, and I decided to test these knowledges with my students. This year I have 7 groups, and I decided to test it with them. I had some videos for them. First one was about the attitude of a modern man to the nature and animals. If you are interested, later I can send you all these videos and you can also use them. The first video was given in order to make children to think that a person does not respect the nature in general. And further tasks will show that what consequences these all lead to. The first task they only watched, and they need to think about attitude of the man. The second task was a video from National Geographical Channel about global warming, because I think global warming and pollution in general is very global problem, and it is relevant not only for Kazakhstan, but for the whole world. They watched the video. First time they only watched and listened. The second time they had tasks. They had 2 different parts of sentences, and while listening and watching, they need to make the whole sentences. This task I got from internet several years ago, but it's really great, and students really liked it. And the last task, they had the song. You know that all teenagers like to listen to the songs. And I decided to take the song of Linkin Park and the song What I've Done. It is also about the attitude of people to the nature and pollution. And they need to tell some words about these tasks. Were they interesting? Were they difficult for them? Of course, some students said that it was rather difficult because they're 7th grade. They are not very in common with English language. But some students, they said that even this difficult task was okay for them. And in general, they liked that we discussed such global problem as global warming and pollution of environmental problems. And they said that they didn't even think that modern groups, rock groups, they can think about this problem and they can sing about this problem. So if Anna Nikolaevna will give me such an opportunity, later I can share these videos. They are really great. And of course, it is better to use them with adult students. but this year I had only 7th grade. That's why I decided to test it with them.
No, despite we have only 7th grade, we did lots of work this year with Ekaterina Nikolaevna, and this is great. And your 7th grade students are so talented and skilled in English, so I was amazed, because not all our English students speak like your 7th grade school children.
Yes, but unfortunately we couldn't watch the video.
Yeah, but of course we will do it because I'm going to upload it on YouTube and I will share this. Okay,
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 thank you
and
very
we
much.
have the last for today presentation. Just Arina, can you hear?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, we have several students from our Balashak Academy, and they also contributed by developing some how to say, presentations and some materials for further learning for COVID-19. And actually, I was afraid of sharing this information, but then I learned this information and I understood how useful it was and how great discussion it can cause. Okay, so I will share this presentation. Arina, don't
Okay.
teach us, just say something, say about this idea, okay? Just some words.
I
And we
say the general information. My speech will be short.
okay, great. Just a moment. Mm.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Now you can see one of our works. This is a presentation about COVID-19 or coronavirus. The main idea of this presentation is about truthful information about COVID.
Mhm,
The presentation is based on a speech by Alana Sheikh from TED Talks platform.
mhm,
Uh, Alana Sheikh worked in the health sphere, and her facts which given during the speech change our mind and our idea of the epidemic.
mhm,
And the most interesting thing about was about masks. She said that the masks are necessary for people who are ill and they are useless and uncomfortable for healthy people. She also said that our countries are not ready for such situation and that this is not the last outbreak.
mhm,
And in general, I advise you to watch this video.
mhm.
It will help to provide a true understanding of about COVID-19, and it can calm those people who are very afraid of this situation, I think.
Arina, what was her main idea? What people should do during this pandemic situation? She
Uh,
advised 3 things, yes?
she advised sanitize your mobile phone, sanitize your hands, washing your hands, and don't panic.
Yes,
And don't,
actually, the first advice was about sanitizing the hands
yes,
as
sanitizing your
often as
hands.
possible.
Yes, and try don't visit the places which crowded of people, I think.
Yes, and she also said that despite, for example, some countries blame that was their, how to say, that China is guilty, yes, but she said that actually not China, but what, Arina? Global warming, yes?
Global
Global
warming,
warming is
yes, that
guilty in this disaster, and that is not the last one. And of course, she also compared like this with other types of influenza. And she said that what we should do, we shouldn't panic. We should wear masks only if we are ill, because otherwise masks make our faces sweaty. And
yes,
she said that we should sanitize and wash our hands as often as possible, and we should sanitize our mobiles because mobiles have lots of bacteria, lots of like dirt,
Yes, yes.
and we even don't mind how dirty these mobiles are. And after watching this video, I immediately started sanitizing my mobile phone, and I asked my kids to bring their mobile phone to sanitize them. Okay, so that was also a great part of contribution from my girls, and they also did a great job, I think. Okay, so thank you,
Okay.
Arina. Thank you
Thank
for
you
finding
for
the
this.
opportunity, yes, to stay with us today, because I understand how busy you are now. You are having your
I'm not
diploma.
at home.
Okay.
We are
Mhm.
happy that we are successful, and it is the end of our course, half of a year.
You
I
know
think
how
it's a great
really,
achievement.
really, really hard
Many
work, I think.
hard work, yeah,
Yeah,
because we are
hard work.
busy and because of quarantine and so on, pandemic. So, but nevertheless, we did great job. Anna Nikolaevna, thank you for your encouragement, for your
And thank
great
you for your
ideas. You
support.
always involve us to some activities, and as far as I know, you have one more idea, another project, and some of the participants are already ready to be
I
members,
I
participants.
want them to become coordinators. The more
Coordinator.
coordinators, the better. I don't think I'm going to become like the coordinator one more time, because it was really like it's really, how to say, it's exhausting, and I'm really tired. But I'm happy that we could successfully finish this project, and maybe, yes, maybe I will apply for another project.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that you should move maybe in other direction. You see, so nevertheless, thank you very much to all of you. You see,
Yes.
uh, I do not pronounce the names personally because uh, great investment was done by uh,
Yeah.
state university, by students, by school teachers, and that is why thank you very much. We have new ideas, we have new ties for cooperation with teachers. You see, it's in general, we made friends with many people. That's the
Yes,
main
and
idea. Thank you.
we are known for our like embassy, U.S. embassy. It's very important. And John was in delight, like because of our sessions, and Ben as well. And for me, it's a good result. And also, that me and Taisia Vladimirovna were chosen to participate for Katek, and also I gave the how to say, as a candidature of Ekaterina Nikolaevna, but because of pandemic we couldn't go there. But this session was just postponed, and it will happen, but it will happen in future. And now Ayalim and Evgenia and Ekaterina Nikolaevna, they know more opportunities than just like how to say local projects, yes, and they independently can apply for such projects from the U.S. Embassy. So they are free to all how to say ideas, and they are really open. Especially John, he is very open. He can how to say message himself. He can provide some initiatives, and this is great. So we have feedback, and this is great. Okay.
Besides people,
Thank you.
dear participants, I think that we are ready to make some organization of English teachers. You see, because Shymkent is very active. I mean, Shymkent organization of teachers of English is very active. You see, Karaganda was also active, maybe some
Mhm.
10 years ago. I think that now we have a group of active people who are interested and who can manage this group of people. We need some organization and coordination in Karaganda.
Mhm. I
Think
agree.
about,
Yes,
okay.
let's think about it, because it gives us more opportunities for grant project participation. Because, for example, Law Office and U.S. embassies, they mostly work with such organization rather than universities and schools. And I think we have lots of opportunities if we can unite and if we have one organization.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Can I leave?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Bye
guys,
bye.
have a good
Have a nice
weekend.
day.
Goodbye.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank you.
all.
Thank you.
You.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Anna Nikolaevna. Was very
Thank
interesting.
you.
Thank
Really
you.
indeed.
Thank you, Elena Yurievna, that you found
Yeah.
time to join. Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.